Namaste, it's Renee, and welcome to my podcast, Peace, Love, Abundance. I am, and already have, been talking about Ayurveda, so I figured it was a great time to have a podcast on what Ayurveda is, because it is more than what you eat. It is everything in the whole picture, and hopefully after this episode, you can kind of understand that it encompasses more than just what you eat. It also doesn't imply that you have to be a vegetarian. Let's just get that out of the way right away. It is about mindful eating, so hopefully making better food choices as far as sustainability and supporting the big feedlots that don't treat animals too well. You do want to be mindful about any animal protein that you consume, but you don't have to completely avoid it to practice Ayurveda. Also, Ayurveda is the sister science to yoga. So those of you out there who practice yoga, if you feel like you've been practicing yoga for a lot of years and you love your practice, but you're just kind of feeling like, wow, where can I take my practice next? I can do a handstand, I can do several other inversions, or if that's not your goal, you still feel like you're present on your mat, you're practicing yoga, you know what a good warrior two is, but you're like, wow, I still feel like I'm missing something, or I want to take my practice deeper and I'm not sure where to go. Ayurveda might be that missing puzzle piece. So stay with me. You're really going to enjoy this podcast as I dive into truly what Ayurveda is. And I also want to say right away, Ayurveda is a practice just like yoga. And just like yoga, you don't have to practice yoga in a big box yoga studio. You can practice on your own. Yoga can just be one pose, maybe sit and meditate. Or it can just be doing a back bend to get your heart open. So again, you don't have to have a strong yoga practice to practice yoga. And even there's laughter yoga. There's just breathing exercises. Yoga can truly be anything you want it to be. Ayurveda is very much the same. There's several aspects of Ayurveda, and it's up to you how deeply you dive into the practice of Ayurveda. You might just want to do the tongue scraping every day and call it good, but there are several different branches of the Ayurveda that you can venture into. And anyways, let's move on. Let's go ahead and start to discuss a little bit what Ayurveda is. Everything in Ayurveda comes down to what you digest and elimination. And the saying is it's not necessarily you are what you eat, but you are what you digest. This is a concept that I've been teaching for a while now. Even as a master herbalist, this is the first thing we learned was digestion is key. Everything comes down to digestion and then also elimination. So what you put into your body, how you break it down, and then how you eliminate it. So it spans beyond food and poop. Yes, I just said poop. I know, so taboo. Did I really just say the word poop? Would you rather I say shit? Because I can say shit too. Anyways, we're going to stick to poop today. I think it's cuter. While those two are very important, digestion and elimination is not limited to just food and poop. It is also how we digest our thoughts, how we learn new things, our relationships, patterns, our emotions, and how well we eliminate the things of the past, what no longer is serving us, bad habits and attachments that are weighing us down or keeping us from reaching our full potential. What we eat is a great place to start because being more conscious about what we eat, we can step up the foundation for how we feel daily. And when we eat proper foods, then we feel more energetic. We all have those days where we eat something and feel like poo. Severe food poisoning is not fun and an extreme example of what I'm trying to convey, but you get the picture whenever I suggest that. But if we listen to our bodies, to the daily signals it gives us about our daily habits, it goes beyond, again, what we eat and what we poo. It goes into how we smile or don't smile, how we can clearly think or not, how we can make others around us happy or not. We truly do have the ability to spread happiness and the ability to spread angry emotions. You can really make somebody have a bad day by yelling and screaming at them, even a complete stranger. It's about how well we receive someone's energy and help or not, how we smell good or not, how we feel or don't feel, living in that denial, right? And then there's how the lightness we feel or the heaviness we feel. On a daily basis, we can experience even all of that, but some days we're a little bit more in one of those categories than the other. Many people in my community who are listening to this right now probably practice yoga or even run or some kind of activity, even going to work every day. You have days where you're so sluggish and you can't understand why you can't stay awake. Anyways, whatever you have in your daily routine, you can relate this to your daily routine of having a good day and a bad day, physically, emotionally, energetically, whatever it is. But many people do go to yoga or exercise, even if it's running or lifting weights. You do this because it helps you feel better after. You even sometimes find clarity of thought. You're breathing better, you de-stress, and cultivate whatever your reason is for going to yoga or exercising as a whole. We make this conscious decision to feel better, so therefore we practice yoga or get out and go for a walk or whatever it is that you do to feed your soul. But what about life off the yoga mat or life outside your routine, even life outside the bathtub? If taking a bath is what you do to feel better and find clarity and relax and de-stress, what about life outside the bathtub even, and life off the mat? What if we could be just as mindful about what we eat, who we hang out with, and what hobbies we have to feed our souls to get a feel of a good day every day, to cultivate vitality instead of dreading the next day? Well, Ayurveda is the sister science of yoga and intended to be practiced alongside a yoga practice. And once again, remember, yoga practice doesn't mean you have to go to a health club or a yoga studio. It can just be a daily activity of making sure you breathe, and the Ayurveda part, eating well, and cultivating vitality, knitting. Go ahead and knit if that's what makes you feel present. It's anything that makes you feel present. I'm just going to use the term yoga a lot because I'm a yoga instructor and I practice yoga. But it's sad. Even with yoga, I've met several people who've practiced yoga for many, many years, even some who've practiced yoga longer than I have, and have no clue about Ayurveda. I even know some yoga instructors out there who are teaching the love of yoga, but don't even know what Ayurveda is. Now, not passing any judgment here, because I can't say that the first day that I stepped into a yoga studio, I knew it all immediately. But we are people, and as people, we love to learn more. So keep learning and know that Ayurveda should be in your list, your bucket list of learning and adding on to your life, your routine, your yoga practice, whatever it is. It's time to cultivate your knowledge and dig deeper into your current practice by cultivating a little more Ayurveda. So, I am definitely on a mission to share the love of practicing Ayurveda, to acknowledge how amazing it would be to have both in your life and how much more balanced we would all be if we could listen to our body's early signals/symptoms and act on it instead of ignoring it or struggling to find time and money to go to the doctor. How many of us put off things because we don't have time or money to go to the doctor? And while Western diagnostic tools and medicine are amazing, They don't teach us how to take care of our bodies on a daily basis between the doctor's visits and help us maybe save a little bit of money on going to the doctor for just that basic daily ailment that the doctor's just going to send you home and tell you, well, you need to exercise more, stop drinking caffeine, cut down on the alcohol. The doctor's going to try their best to give you advice on, cut out all these external bad habits that you have and maybe you'll feel better. But in a 15-minute doctor's appointment, sometimes even less than 15 minutes, they can't give you everything you need to know about practicing a daily healthy habit. What if you knew a way to troubleshoot your body daily or weekly? Some sort of education and knowledge to learn how to take care of yourself between doctor's visits. I believe knowledge is power. That is where Ayurveda is badass at helping you live and practice daily the lifestyle habits and mindful eating of foods that feed your specific digestion and elimination to feel balanced. Ayurveda even takes it beyond what you eat or poop. It is everything you take in. I want to repeat that. It's more than what you eat or poop. It is everything you take in, as well as anything you let go of that is no longer serving you. So it encompasses how you learn, how you think, how you breathe, how you connect or interact with people, how you handle your emotions, and more. So in one day, can you experience all those things I just mentioned? Can you learn, think, breathe, connect, and interact with people, and have emotions? Yes, we have those daily. So taking more notice of these things is taking notice of everything you take in, right? So that's the digestion, breaking down how you learn. You're going to break down your thoughts in your head so that they can make sense. You even break down when you breathe. When you breathe in oxygen, you break it down, or when you breathe in the air, you break it down into usable oxygen and let go of the carbon dioxide that you don't need anymore. It's a constant in and out of the body and the balance, right? So also, what are the things, after we've digested, what are the things that we let go of on a daily basis? We let go of, again, carbon dioxide. Our body's letting go of the carbon from the foods that we digested and the air that we've brought in. But also, can we work more on letting go of old habits, old thoughts, destructive relationships, destructive patterns, and things just of the past that no longer serve us? I always recommend keep the memories, keep the lessons learned, because that's what makes you who you are. That's what makes you the authentic person that you are. That's what makes you different than the person next to you, is because of your past and how you got to this point. But let go of the attachments. If you're revisiting the guilt and the shame and the embarrassment from something of the past, if you're revisiting that every day, if these are emotions that just keep repeating themselves day after day, it's time for you to let go of those old habits, thoughts, relationships, patterns, and move on. Take the lesson and then break the cycle by moving on. Everything, again, comes down to digestion and elimination. So how you digest the things that come your way and then eliminating the attachments from it. So even digesting the news, when you turn on the TV and you see what's going on the news and you take that news in, you digest it, you think about how you feel about what you just learned on the news, and you decide whether you want to continue to support that or cry about it, or maybe laugh and smile. The news isn't always bad. But that's a process of digestion and elimination. Laughing or crying over something is a form of elimination once you've digested what you just heard or learned. Ayurveda shows you how to become aware of your body. It teaches you how to interpret how you feel. It's useful to think of Ayurveda as a form of habitopathy. It is the pathogenesis of a habit. The things we do in our everyday life that have an effect on us. I would like to even repeat that. Ayurveda is a form of habitopathy. It is the pathogenesis of a habit. The things that we do in our everyday life that have an effect on us. So yes, the things we do in our everyday life that have an effect on us. Ayurveda is the study of that. It teaches us how to experience that. So when we notice after eating a certain food, or interacting with a certain person, or doing a certain activity, we feel a certain way afterwards. If you've had a conversation with a toxic person, you feel toxic afterwards. If you got in an accident, a car accident, you feel toxic afterwards. You don't feel so good. You're sore, you're shaken up, you're rattled. If you eat food that doesn't feel good in your body, you feel like poo the rest of the day. So, also much like how yoga is deeply personal, Ayurveda is very personal. There's no two people out there that can twist into a pretzel or touch their toes the same as each person. So Ayurveda is going to feel different. Each person is going to even experience that car accident differently. Some people may take the course of, they don't want to get behind the wheel ever again. That was too scary. If the accident was during a snowstorm, then that person doesn't ever want to drive in a snowstorm again. So how each person even receives that car accident is going to be different. How we practice yoga is different. What people feel in each pose is going to be slightly different than the other person. So the practice of Ayurveda is going to be slightly different for everybody. There are some guidelines that I'd love to share along the way. But overall, Ayurveda, you are responsible for your own practice. Just like you are responsible for your own exercise routine, nobody can exercise for you. Nobody can technically put food in your mouth. Even a baby, if they don't want to eat, they close up their mouth and make it really impossible for their parent to feed them, right? So in the end, you are responsible for you. If there's one thing that I want you to get even from this podcast, is that you are responsible for you. Yoga and Ayurveda just help us with some guidelines on maybe how to start listening to your body just a little bit more. How we can truly become more aware of our bodies. We can help ourselves on a daily basis. You don't have to wait till that doctor's appointment that's scheduled 2 weeks out. And then you go to the doctor and you're disappointed to find out that all these tests that they ran show nothing, and they send you home with the advice of stop drinking caffeine, stop drinking alcohol, get exercise, lose weight. And then you're back to square one again, like, I don't know how to do all this. I don't know what's wrong with my body. The doctors don't know what's wrong with me. So encouraging you to, on your own, start to listen to your body more. Even the toxic relationships in your life, everything comes down to listening to your body and taking control of your life. Knowledge is power. And it all comes down to digestion and elimination. How you're digesting your interactions all day long. The things that we do in our everyday life that have an effect on us. How you digest that and then even eliminate it. How you decide whether that is worth worrying about or moving on with your life. So I encourage you to stay with me on this journey as I continue to share more about Ayurveda and a daily practice and mastering even your mindset. So a lot of this digestion and elimination also comes from mastering your mindset. So if you want to be a badass at mastering your mindset, at peace, love, and abundance, knowing there's an abundance of opportunities out there, an abundance of things to learn, and an abundance of ways that you can heal your body or have a better understanding of your body on a daily basis. That's what this podcast is about. So please follow me in iTunes, SoundCloud, or even Google Play Music for Android. I encourage you, let's keep this journey going. Your feedback and ideas for podcast subjects are always welcome as well. And let's do this. Let's become badasses. Let's take back control of our lives and feel better and do better every day, and even share this love and knowledge and this peace of mind, because there's an abundance of people out there who need this, and an abundance of opportunities for all of us to digest and eliminate it. I leave you today with this: peace, love, abundance, and namaste.